I wanted to do a live with you and answer your questions. So here I am. I thought it'd just be a really fun idea to see what questions you have, whether it's about rabbit trails or homeschooling or motherhood or whatever it is, and just chat with you guys because I feel like we don't touch base enough and I want to change that. So I asked you guys for your questions. A handful of you gave me your questions, and so I'm just going to run through the list and give you whatever answers I have. Am I a pro? Absolutely not. But I have done tons and tons of research, and I obviously have lots of theories behind rabbit trails. You say hi. My kids are not hiding or anything like that. I know during a lot of my videos, I try to make sure I'm holed up in my bedroom, that my kids aren't there, but we're just living life today. So I've got kiddos doing schoolwork. I've got one kiddo watching TV, another one eating lunch, and this guy's excited that Mama's talking. You say hi? Hi. Good job. You being sweet? Is it so exciting? Are you on there? Is that you? Yeah, it's you. Okay, so the first question that I saw was from Christina Hughes, and she said, I'm really wanting to be unschoolers or do unit studies. I don't know really how to do it, or even don't know where to start. So she has two questions. So I'm going to start with that one first. And honestly, so we are not unschoolers. We are relaxed homeschoolers. We like doing unit studies. We're super eclectic. And that's why I made rabbit trails. Is because it's just a little bit of everything. That it has the literature-based kind of Charlotte Mason-y. It's unit studies. I know, it's so fun. It's unit studies in the fact that like science is about birds. Our new science that's coming out is on different units. So one on reptiles and amphibians, one on space. So those are very unit study. And even inside of rabbit trails through literature, it's all like tiny unit studies all inside of it that are all about language arts. So that for me is why I made rabbit trails, is because I wanted that relaxed feel. I wanted those kind of unit studies. I wanted that literature. So that's how to start. Find my freebies. I have all my freebies on my website. You can try something from every single subject. And that'd be a great way to start and just see, what subject specifically are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to do all of them? Because we have everything but math. Are you wanting just to do a certain subject? Like, what are you looking for in those unit studies? Do you want it for everything or just some things? Because we're really trying on building our curriculum offerings to give you everything you guys could possibly want. We're coming out with a third history. So we'll have 3 histories, 3 sciences, 3 volumes of language arts. And of course, we've got holiday studies, national parks. So all of those, like really any of those are a great place to start because it just depends on what you want. What do you want in your homeschool? But it really just gives that relaxed unit study feel and just makes it so much easier because it's all laid out for you, right? So you can absolutely make your own unit studies. Super easy. Find a book, do the same thing I do. Rabbit Trail saves you that time and that you don't have to go out and find all those resources. You don't have to scour the internet for hours looking for books. I can't even tell you how many hours we look, sometimes just for one lesson, looking for books. I'm trying to get my little guy off the table. Hey, Caleb, can you bring him in the living room? There we go. Trying to climb on the table. So it just saves you time, right? That we have all that hard work done for you. We have all of the ideas already laid out for you, so you don't have to spend hours looking through Pinterest. We've done it, right? And we've compiled all of that into lessons for you. The other part of her question was that they're not spending the recommended times on school, and they fuss if it's more than 45 minutes. So what do I do? So this depends highly on your state. My state does not have how many hours we have to spend on school. There's recommendation, but it's not required. So we can spend as much time as we want on school. The second thing to think of is school is life. If your children are helping you in the kitchen, if your children are playing outside, if your children are helping clean the house, if they are watching something the least bit educational, if they are just reading books just for fun, it doesn't have to be curriculum to count as school. We have to track attendance in my state. But I honestly end up checking off almost 365 days a year because there is not a day that goes by that they aren't doing something school related. They are reading books. That can count as school. They, like when we're vacationing and stuff, they're at national parks. That 100% counts as school. When we go to park days with friends, that counts as school, right? They're getting that physical education and they're getting that socialization that everyone's so worried about. They're getting it in. So you may have to reevaluate what that 5 hours or however much it is, because I know some states say 5 hours, however much it is that you're supposed to get in, reevaluate what school is. It's not just the curriculum that you're using. It is so much of life that can count as school. So write that stuff down. Get creative, right? If you have to actually write it down and track it in that way, get creative. Make up your own little like subjects or whatever and put that stuff under it. Put it under home ec, whatever it needs to be. That counts as school. They should absolutely be getting credit for that. Another question that I have is homeschooling only child. Any tips? They're still thinking about doing a co-op. I obviously don't have this situation. I have 4 kids. 2 of them are school age. 2 of them are not quite school age, although my 4-year-old certainly joins us in tons and tons of stuff. So I don't homeschool an only child, but I can tell you that joining a co-op, or whether it's just a community, it doesn't have to be co-op classes, right? Just a homeschool community in general can be fantastic, even for large families or just homeschooling an only child, because it's going to get them out, right? And it's going to get you together with other homeschool families. So if you're just worried about that socialization aspect, totally join a co-op or join a more relaxed group. If there's not a relaxed group in your area, make one. I have been a part of groups that were brand new, relaxed groups just for park meetups in 2 cities now. And I just started a group for the new city that I'm moving to because there's not a group for them. And we may not even meet up. It might just be for online support, just from like mom to mom, you know? But absolutely find that. And if you don't have in your area, don't be afraid to start it, because those have been some of the coolest and most amazing friendships that we've made are from these groups that started from literally like 3 of us and have exploded into these humongous groups now where we have to like delete people who are inactive and all of that. So if you build it, they will come. I promise. Sarah, what did you want me to talk about? Let's see. Why I started rabbit trails. I think I want to wait to talk about that. How I manage housework and homeschool. And this made me chuckle because Sarah knows me well enough to know that my house is not well taken care of. It is a mess most of the time. But I think that that's important to talk about too, right? Because we see lots of Instagram, right? Even me right now, I look like I have these pretty book stacks. I look so organized, where you guys can't see the table behind me that's covered in stuff. Or the bookshelf that has crafts all over it, or the living room with blankets and toys, the kitchen with a counter that has stuff all over it. You guys don't see that. You see my pretty corner, right? And that's the way that social media is that we think that these people are getting it all done. We're likely they're skimping somewhere. There's always going to be somewhere that's not getting attention, because that's just life. We can't pay attention to everything all the time, especially when we are taking our children's education into our own hands. So if your house is not perfect, give yourself grace. Clean what you can clean. Make whatever list you need to make and make it doable. Make sure that you just put small amounts of things, or do reverse planning, right? Where you just you simply write down what you have done. So at the end of the day, you can see all that you've accomplished, as opposed to having this major to-do list, not getting hardly any of it done and feeling like you are a failure because your whole list is not checked off. So give yourself that grace that you need. Focus on whatever area you need to focus on. Get your kids to help. Oh my goodness. Get your kids to help. I had someone once tell me that they don't have their kids help them because they feel like they shouldn't, because it's not their job. They're part of your household. They should help keep the household. Do they participate in the dust particles in the air? Absolutely they do. Have them help. It's not punishment. It's life training. I did not have to help growing up. I moved out of my house not knowing how to do laundry and not knowing how to keep a home. And it took me years to figure that out. Don't do that disservice to your kids. Make sure they know how to do this stuff. My older boys both do their laundry and fold it. Is it folded perfectly? No. Are their clothes wrinkly? Yes. Do any of us care? No. Does anyone else care that sees them? Absolutely not. And if they care and they were to say something to me, I would be happy to invite them over to fold laundry for me. And, you know, even at like 5 and 6, I have them start vacuuming. Do they do a perfect job? Absolutely not. Right? Like, do I maybe have to go over it? Probably. But that's okay. It's all about training them up. And some people are like, well, dogs are for training. Children aren't. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says we are to train up our children in the way that they should go. And so it is important for us. Hi. It's important for us to teach them these things, right? And not to berate them when they don't do it well enough. They are being trained. They are learning how to do it. So be gentle with them, but have them pitch in, right? They can absolutely help start picking up. Even at this guy's age, at 18 months, he helps pick up toys. It's not a mean thing, right? It's supposed to be a fun thing, but he helps to pick up. It's actually like really fun. It's a game for him right now. He's probably more obedient than my older kids are when it comes to picking up. Aren't you? Is that just the coolest? Hi. Hello. No, you are not tapping on my computer, sir. So have them join in. And whether you do rewards for it is totally up to you. Whether you do allowance for it is totally up to you. Can you keep playing with him, please? He got busy watching TV and forgot to play with brother. Caleb. Thank you. He's all done with his schoolwork.
The Wi-Fi's out.
I don't know. I'll have to fix it in a minute, okay, bud? Thank you. Our Wi-Fi's acting up, so I hope that doesn't mean that this is acting up. I should be fine with cell phone signal, but we'll see, I suppose. If only half of this shows up, we'll know. So anyway, so that is how we manage housework in our house. Is just to get the kids involved. Today was bathroom day, so they split up chores. My husband and I take care of the showers. One kiddo does toilets, one kiddo does sinks and mirrors. Bathrooms are done. And especially even really little ones. Like, I should probably start getting my 4-year-old involved. She can do sinks. Will it be perfect? No. But she'll learn, right? And she's almost big enough to start helping with vacuuming. The vacuum's a little bit too tall for her still. I feel like around like kindergarten or first grade was when it worked and it clicked. And my older guys were able to help with that more. So let me go back here because I know that there was another question on another post that I wanted to get to. And where is it? Sorry, let me search through here to make sure I find it for you guys. I feel like I missed another one too. Okay, so Katie asked about trying to make school more fun. She says math and language arts are what they are, but I feel like I need to make the other subjects more exciting. Again, my answer here is just going to be rabbit trails, guys. I can't help it. I don't just make rabbit trails to sell. I make rabbit trails for our family. That was my first reason for starting it, which now I'm answering the other question that I said I wasn't going to, but it has to lead into it, is I made it for us. I made it so that there was a difference in my home for my kids because the other stuff wasn't working. And trust me, we had tried a lot of it, especially being a homeschool blogger. I reviewed tons of other curriculum, and there was very good aspects to a lot of it, but they still didn't work for our house. There was still the monotony of doing the same thing every single day, every single week. Rabbit Trails keeps it fresh because there's new books every couple days, right? If you're doing the rabbit trails and the library list section, they're going to have new books all the time. That keeps it fresh. The activities are not going to be the same, right? It's going to keep it fresh. It's going to keep it exciting. There's fun hands-on. There's things that are still super educational, right? Like they're still going to be doing writing stuff. They're still going to be doing researching things. You're going to be looking at amazing websites. You're going to have all of that, but it's different every single time. You're not doing the same kind of activity every single time. Yeah, my Wi-Fi was messing up, so we'll see how it is. Sarah just said that my video was frozen for a little bit, so hopefully you guys didn't miss too much. We'll see how it goes. So if you guys missed anything and you're like, hey, I didn't hear this part, let me know. I'll type it out. I have no problem doing that because I tend to ramble anyway, so probably could be shortened quite a bit from what I'm saying. So anyways, so how to make them more exciting is seriously to use rabbit trails. We have the history, we have the science, and they are so much fun. My kids, so we've been working on the westward expansion for history, which is coming out this summer. My kids have had so much fun using this. They've highly enjoyed the books. Even my 13-year-old was like, I really like that book. And he retained all the information from it because that was something he's always had trouble with, is just that retention after we're reading something. And he's grown in that so much since we've been doing rabbit trails. And I think maturity is a part of it too, right? Like I can't give all the credit to rabbit trails. Part of it is he's getting older, so that retention's easier for him. So don't freak out if your little kids aren't good at retaining information from books right away. And that's why like narration and everything like that can be such a good tool because it just tells you what they did take away. It's not asking them questions to say, well, what's this? And they're like, I don't remember that part, right? Then they panic. It's what did you remember? And so it makes it just more doable for them because it just takes time. It takes age and maturity to start remembering that stuff. You can't climb on the table, Bubba. No. I know. So it keeps it fun. It keeps it exciting. You have the books, you have the hands-on, you have the writing, you have all the other aspects, poetry, art study, especially in history, that there's that art study component that my kids love that part where you're looking at actual famous artists or famous art pieces that are like so important to history. And then in science, you're doing tons of hands-on activities. Our new units have tons of experiments, beautiful reference book to get all of the stuff from, plus all of the picture book recommendations as well. So it's just so hands-on. You're looking at vocabulary. There's so much there. The kids have fun doing it. So it just makes such a big difference. Are you ready? You ready to say bye-bye? Bye-bye. So he's ready. So I'm going to get off of here. If you guys have any more questions, leave them here in the comments because I want to answer them. I want to do this once a week. I want to hang out and do it in this way that I just had a free handful of minutes, so I just kind of popped on. So it'll kind of just be like this, where I just pop on, and you guys will probably be catching the replay, and that's okay. But if you're able to join me live, you see that I'm going live, just hop on. If you're in and out, that's fine too. It's just cool to see you guys and to hang out and to say, to see that you're watching. It makes it fun, like I'm actually talking to a person and not just my phone. But absolutely catch the replay. And don't feel bad about not catching me live because I'm going to try to always get your questions beforehand so that I can then go in and answer them later. So any questions for next week, drop them in the comments. I'll probably make another call for questions. And I will see you guys next time. Say bye-bye. Bye.